Hello and welcome to the What's New in the Project and Warehouse Management session. My name is Andrei Panko and I will show you a lot of demos today. Let's start with the intro slide where I will just highlight the list of changes we done mainly to job card, but we also did a lot of investment into how to align job model with the inventory model. And let's go to the demos. Main idea of this season, of this release, is to align jobs model with the rest of application. And you can see the changes right when you open job card. The first thing you can see that we received Sell-To group of fields which are representing the party who will be receiving the service. This new group of fields added in this release, and they are replacing Bill-To fields which are moving down to new invoice and shipping tab. Why so? Because now project manager can actually define in project two parties, who is paying bill and who is receiving services. And it should not affect the users. The flow is absolutely the same. They starting by specifying customer number, and Bill-To will be populated automatically with the same value. But if necessary, project manager can scroll down and change settings. For example, choose another customer and select another customer from the list. For example, here I selected Tray Research. Alternatively, they can keep the existing customer but modify address, custom address, and now project manager can change address, address to, and other fields here. Projects are a bit special because it's very often when they are performed on remote side, closer to the customer. And to help a project manager to define this information in the job card, we introduced a new group of fields, Ship-To. They are also located on the invoice and shipping tab. And now project manager can decide if they would like to keep the address of the Sell-To customer, which will be copied here, or if they would like to choose alternative shipping address and select one from Ship-To addresses linked to the main customer. And of course, they can also change address to be a custom address and type it manually. All right, what else? We also added payment terms fields. It's a payment term code and payment method code, which can be different from what is configured on the Bill-To customer by default. So these four fields, Ship-To, Bill-To, payment terms, and Sell-To group of fields, all of them will be transferred to created invoice. We also have your reference and external document fields added. They will not be transferred to invoice. They are stay on job card and helps project manager in communication with internal and external team members. Let's have a look at the process of creation of sales invoices. Create job sales invoices, and we will receive 3 invoices created. 3 invoices were created. Let's explore them. I will open another tab and open sales invoices. The last 3 were created and linked to the jobs. You can see all 3 of them are having Sell-To Adatum Corporation as Sell-To customer. Exactly how they is specified in the job card. But if we will scroll down to shipping and billing tab, notice the unification, you can see that here we have another customer, Tray Research. On the next invoice, we use custom address and fields updated manually as in job card. And the last one, it uses default customer, but it uses different shipping address, Lewis Road in this case. Let's scroll a little bit up and explore payment terms and payment methods, which were copied from job card. All right, so project manager task is just post this document. All information is already transferred as it should be. Notice that external document and your reference are empty, as I promised. All right, let's close this one and return back to job. What else we would like to take a look here? As a project manager, I would like to print my document as a quote. Print, preview. This is a standard report. Let me demonstrate something to you. I will open Page Inspector, and I would like to show you the object ID. This is 1016 job quote report. This is a standard report. Instead of printing it, I will close it. And what happened? If you have not noticed, it's another report opened. It has a different name, test, and it has different ID. Okay, I got two reports opened. Why so? Let's explore. Let's go back to another tab and see report selection for jobs. Report selection is a common pattern which we use across application for different areas to allow user to set up which report and in which sequence and in which point should be printed. So in this case, we added report selection for jobs. It supports only one option quote today, but as a user, I installed my per tenant extension with a custom report, and now I can actually add it here or overwrite the standard one. Unification, as I say, aligning experience across different functional areas. All right, what else we have been doing? For some releases, we're already investing into job functionality, and we try to align it with other areas as much as possible. We had a significant gap on handling inventory and warehouse operations. In the previous release, we started by introducing support of warehouse bin. Let's close page inspection. It's not needed now. And what does it mean? Let's open job planning line, and now you can see that in addition to blank location, basic location like east, we can also support bin location, where system automatically selects bin to use based on rules specified on location card, most probably because this specific bin has some inventory. This is what we added in the previous release, support of bin. But while I'm here, let me show you something. I will choose create job journal line action to create job journal line. Now let's open this job journal line, and what we can see here. Have you noticed anything? Document number. It looks absolutely the same as job number. This is another unification we are doing now in behavior between manufacturing and jobs. Let me show you the job setup card, which received new property. Document no is job number. If you activate it, then system will use job number as a document number. And the user don't need to invent new numbers if it's not necessary. All right, let's not post it, let's go back. Support of bins. But we decided to support more in this release. We decided to introduce support for warehouse peaks and inventory peaks. These two different warehouse processes. Let me do some excursion into location card and the settings on location. There are many locations I created for this demo, and it's called the inv and warehouse location. Inventory peak. This functionality can be enabled for both locations which require bin or which do not require bin. So here, this location does not require bin, but it requires picking process. Means warehouse employee needs to pick goods in the warehouse and bring them to project team member. The interesting nuance about inventory peak that actually it does not require anyone else to do posting, because it will be registered automatically once warehouse employee post inventory peak. All consumption will be posted automatically and linked to the related job. This is one location where peak required but bin is not, and the second one where peak required and bin is also mandatory. In some locations you would like to handle bins. In other, it's not necessary. The second feature, it is warehouse peak. That's a bit more advanced. It is also can be enabled for locations with and without bins. And see which checkbox I have activated. Require pick and require shipment, which means I need to do two-step process. Warehouse employee will be responsible for picking goods from warehouse and bringing them to project team member, and then project team member will be responsible for registering of the actual consumption. It's a bit different from inventory pick where both transactions are completed by warehouse worker. In the second case, it's a two-step process. Let's return back to jobs and explore how it actually works. So I'm opening job, which will be used to demonstrate different behavior for inventory pick. Let's open job planning line and explore what we have here. We have two lines. Both of them will require inventory pick. But the second one also requires handling on bin level. All right. The same pattern as we use in production orders. Actions, warehouse, create inventory pick. Two picks were created. Let's navigate to them. Again, related, warehouse, and pick lines. Pick lines. We can see the two documents were created. Let's open the first one. Inventory pick for one of locations. I have two locations, that's why two different inventory picks, because probably it will be two different warehouse employees dealing with those. And we can see that the system gives a task to warehouse employee to perform picking. And warehouse employee can actually specify number of items they manage to pick, for example 3, and post. So now it's a warehouse employee who is solely responsible for inventory level. Nobody else can actually post it. And what we can see, let's close these two windows, and we can see that consumption was already registered. So we can see actual cost. So can we see usage of this specific item against this job and job task. Task for project team member is just to register time. And with the investment we did in the previous release by making sure that timesheets can be opened on mobile device, it's dramatically easy. All right, let's explore more of our inventory picks, because we created two, because we have two different locations. Let's take a look at the second one. Again, nothing special, the same format we can see in other areas like sales or manufacturing. System created picking lines. Why two? Because it's smart enough to check the availability, and on bin B1, which we actually wanted to use initially, it's not enough quantity. It has only two. But we have enough quantity on the second, so the system just split lines into two, giving a warehouse employee very specific instructions where to take goods from. Right. Let's stop with inventory picks and moving to a next more advanced scenario, which requires warehouse picking and two-step process. Warehouse picking, I have a separate job for it with two job planning lines, which you can see with location 1 and location 2. Notice the bin code defined here, it is not for warehouse employee. Actually it is. But this one will be used by person who is registering consumption. So this bin right now is empty. So it was because another bin, which is called store, has quantity, but usage is empty. So you cannot post actually transactions here, because we need to instruct warehouse employee to move goods from warehouse into this specific bin. Maybe it is actually car truck of specific car. of the project team member. Alright, let's go back to job card, choose actions, warehouse, create warehouse peak. And two peaks were created, number 9 and number 10. Let's open those related warehouse peak lines. Let's open the first one. This one does not require bin handling. That's why bin is empty and you can see only one line. So it's just instruction for warehouse employee to take stuff somewhere and bring it somewhere. It's expected that this information is known outside of the system and the warehouse employee and the project manager or job team member or project team member communicate outside. Basically, warehouse employee knows which job these goods should be transferred to, and they probably can find the project manager. If bins are required, then document looks a little bit more complicated. In this case, it will have two lines. One line is take instruction, and the second one is place. So we're instructing warehouse employee to take goods from store location and move them to the usage location, so which can be then accessed by a project team member. Let's change quantity to 3, because for some reason they didn't find remaining others items, and register peak. Okay, goods moved from one bin to another in quantity of 3. Let's take a look at what project team member can do now. Job planning lines. We go to the line number 2. And you can see that original quantity was 5, but quantity picked is only 3. Now, if a project team member wants to create a job journal line, system will prevent them from doing it on the full quantity. They cannot post more than they received, just not allowed. The same pattern we use in other places. So they need to change quantity to 3, and now they can create job journal lines. That works. All right. But most probably, when we're dealing with warehouse peaks, we have a bigger company with multiple jobs, multiple warehouse employees, and we would like to do complete separation of activities and responsibilities. So in this case, instead of pushing workflow when somebody creates warehouse peak from the job card, I believe it will be pooling workflow when warehouse team actually explores which documents are open or ready for processing, and use warehouse worksheets, like a picking worksheet, to do bulk processing. So what do we have here? We have two jobs, worksheet and worksheet 2. And let's see how they can be handled from picking worksheet. Let's go here, pick worksheets. We can see location selected, and now choose process, get warehouse documents. You can see 3 documents actually. We can choose last 2. Which documents do we see here? You need to make sure that status is open. Let me show you. The status must be open, otherwise warehouse system will not see these documents. It will not see document in quote or completed stage. It must be open. Okay. Now 2 lines, because we're dealing with 2 different documents. Let me show it to you. 2 different documents were gathered. Now task to create warehouse peak documents. Create peak, and here probably warehouse manager can define on how to group those documents based on customer, vendor, items, zones, etc. to actually distribute this job between different warehouse workers. I will not use any of those and create it manually. Only 1 peak was created. Only 1. It has number 12. Let's open it. And you can see that there are 4 lines: take, place, where we're instructing warehouse employee to take stuff and bring it to proper place, but combined for 2 different jobs. Here we can actually also see other type of lines, for example, production consumption or sales picking. All right, how can you get these features? That's a very important nuance. Actually, if you're talking about feature management, only warehouse pick and inventory pick is presented here. By default, it will be disabled, so you need to take a special action to activate warehouse picking and the inventory picking. Otherwise, actions will not be visible, and you will not be able to create a warehouse and inventory pick documents for jobs. But bill to and sell to customers are immediately available on the job card. There is no feature key to activate or deactivate it. We run special upgrade logic automatically to populate new introduced fields, sell to and ship to customers based on what we already know about existing jobs. We are taking information from bill to customer and we are populating other fields based on this information. For new jobs, you can define new sell to and bill to customers. Let's summarize. You saw in this presentation how to deal with the different sell to, bill to, and customers on the same jobs, how to define different shipping addresses and payment methods and terms. You saw a number of improvements in the area of consuming of inventory, starting with assigning the document number, but also support of a warehouse pick and inventory picks. I hope you liked these new features and they will help you in your job. Thank you for attention.